What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the Cowboy Podcast. It's Mick and Kristian's back. Kristian, how are we doing?
Yay. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm back.
He's back. He's back, everyone.
Yeah, had a few busy days, but I spent it with my eldest daughter, so it was all good. But I couldn't be available in the same way as I've been earlier. So yeah, good to be back. Now she's back with her mum, so I can focus on the Liverpool things.
Yeah, it was a good excuse. It wasn't a shit one. So I'll let you off.
Yeah.
But Paul's in. Nice one, Paul. Paul says, morning all. Much better performance Tuesday. We seem to be chasing off the ball more, and great to see the goals going. Hopefully a sign of brighter things to come. We need to play top teams more. Yeah, so we're primarily going to talk about that game. Obviously Tuesday night, beat Napoli 2-0. After the Leeds game, it was just like a bit of a mad one. Like, what's going to happen? On the preview, me and Farrell and Steve were just kind of like, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what team's going to play, and that's kind of been like the story of this season, hasn't it? But we go and beat Napoli 2-0 after the form team in Europe after beating Man City a couple of weeks ago. It's just a crazy season, isn't it?
Yeah, and let's be honest, the Italian league is shite, so they are not that good. they might be flying in the Italian league, but when they come to places like Anfield, I know they are not bad, but if we turn up in a Champions League game, it's I would say Premier League is the most competitive league in the world, even though you got the likes of Man City and Liverpool lately, obviously, but it's Napoli, obviously great form. They've been doing really well in the Italian league. So we know the first game as well when we played them, that was tough to take. But to go and win this game now and just establish, we were already through, but just establish ourselves in the Champions League as we can do it. Even against Napoli, who's in great form. So it's just a great win and a great feeling, I would say.
Yeah, it was very nice. But I just want, before we get into the game itself, I just thought we'd have a little look at the starting lineups. Konate was back. Tsimikas came in. Milner was on a right of a three in midfield, and then we had Curtis Jones left wing, which I think suits him a lot more. But was you happy with that starting 11 when you seen it?
Obviously, when I saw James Milner starting in midfield, I love James Milner, but yeah, I was a little bit concerned because obviously we know that he can run forever, but he can't run as quick any longer. So I was a little bit concerned because he felt a little bit static in that way. We know Fabinho hasn't had the best form and stuff, but during the game and how it progressed, I thought James Milner was great in helping Trent with I can't pronounce his name.
The Georgian guy.
Yeah,
the Georgian fella.
Exactly, the Georgian fella. James Milner helped him out really, really good. So, obviously, when you look at it, then you know what the plan was. That James Milner was actually just going to be, helping Trent, covering space, and beyond that Georgian fella. So, in the end, that was a good plan. I didn't think of it at first, obviously, because I'm not the one setting up the teams against these kind of, oppositions. But when you look at it afterwards, that was good.
Yeah, I think having Konate back on that right side as well. I think, like Doug says here, morning Doug. Doug's in. Says Konate was an absolute beast. He was, wasn't he? Just like, he's just one of those players that he's just so quick and strong. Like, you can't, like, even Osimhen, who's like, I think he's a really good forward, and like you said, their left winger was really good as well and tricky. He was just like matching them pace and just pushing them off the ball, and he was really good, wasn't he? It was nice to have him back. We just need to keep him fit, don't we? It's just one of them. Like, we've got he's just another player that can pick up these niggles and be out for a while. So we just need to maybe put him in for a few and take him out for a few, like we done with Matip last year, to keep him fresh.
Yeah, I love to see him back, and he's still very young. He's a massive centre back, but he's got the pace, and I love how he kind of, just like you said, he pushes people off the ball. He uses his body and physics skills, and he's good with the ball as well. So with being that young and having that impact as a centre back, playing alongside Van Dijk, I think the way forward. Even though I love Joe Gomez and Matip as well. But if you look at it now, if you want to go and continue playing, I think Van Dijk and Konate, if he can stay fit, that would be brilliant for us both in the Premier League and in Europe when it returns. If he's fit, then he can play, and he actually got into a bit of form and played a few games. I just love the way he does that against players to show that you can't get through here, and he's actually having that kind of mindset after the injuries to just go out there and just push people away, show that he's there. It gives him some self-confidence, but it also puts the opposition out a bit. There's just this big lad, I can't go through him. It's impossible. So that's really good. So I think with him next to Van Dijk on that right-hand side, together with Milner and Trent, to just cover the the left winger for Napoli, we can't pronounce his name. That was really good, because he is great. I would love to see him in Liverpool, to be honest. So to have them three as a triangle there, just to cover space for each other and helping out in defensive, duties, that was great.
Yeah, Doug gave us a little. He's always give you a little breakdown. Kvaratskhelia. I'm just gonna. If we sign him, he's the Georgian fella. We're gonna have to abbreviate that to, like, I don't know, Kava or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. Like, just you can, like, I think Klopp came out after saying, like, he's a really good player. He can go inside and outside. The speed that he's got, like, just acceleration.
And it came from nowhere, really. He came from nowhere. Like, he was picked up from, was it like a Russian team or something?
Like,
and then it just exploded.
Ruben Kazan, I think he was at, and then he had to leave. Leave them because of the whole Russian thing as well. But yeah, mad one. But he's definitely going to get signed by someone. But just like, I thought, I was really impressed by, just while we're on Napoli's players, I was really impressed by, like, a few, like, obviously Osimhen, him, Kava. Lobotka, the midfielder. Like, I know, like, they had Ndombele and Guisa, who are both played in the Premier League, both been solid in the Premier League. I've took their game to a new level. Like you said, maybe it's to do with, like, Serie A not being quite the same as the Premier League, so they can flourish a little bit more. But I thought Lobotka, in terms of, like, just carrying the ball, like, just looked really intelligent, and just another good player. But I think all of the players look really, really good, just on the ball, really confident, assured, and you can see why they'd won 13 in a row before Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's the thing, obviously, before I said the Italian league is really bad, but to be fair and to be honest, to go and win that many games in a row and be top of the Serie A it's not bad. Obviously, they are there and they deserve to be there because they've been playing well, and obviously they actually lost a few of their star players at the end of last season as well. Were a few, like Mertens and Insigne did leave, and someone else, I think. But they show they are great in finding diamonds, like the Georgian fella. And some others, and bringing in like Ndombele, who didn't really make it in the Premier League, but they seems to be a force. But coming to Anfield for a Champions League game is never easy. Whatever form we've been in the Premier League, just to play away against us is never easy, I would say, in the Champions League. There's just something about it, I guess.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, and I think having Konate back kind of fed into what Liverpool were trying to do, because you could see, like, Van Dijk was barking orders at people, like, even more so after the Leeds performance. Everyone needs to be held accountable and, like, be, like, 100%. Even Fabinho, who's not been in good form, was better. I mean, he's been really, really bad, so better's not really a compliment, really. But he was going into tackles, he was putting his foot in rather than just, like, letting people go past. So at least that was a small positive as well. But Dan's a nice one. Dan says, yes, lads, what a win that was then. Kurt was brilliant as well, by the way. What did you think of Jones? Did you think, I mean, Doug says here, Jones plays with his head down. A lot needs to pick his head up, but he was okay. Held on the ball, onto the ball for too long. Could have crossed balls into the box, but he's coming back from injury. I just think he's one of those. I think he's better further up the field. Like when he was it the Forest game where he was, like, in, like, a 2 midfield, and he was quite close to our box, and I thought that was dangerous, because he likes to do those little 1-2s, and he likes to keep hold of the ball, and sometimes he'll take a touch too many, and it's just little things like that where I think he's 21. I think he's 22 in January, so these type of things need to be getting sorted out sooner rather than later. But I think, like, the next 12 months, 18 months, I think then we can judge him after that. But I just think people give him a hard time because he's a local lad and he's been in and around the squad for a while now. And people's gripe is, oh, he hasn't improved, which I kind of agree to an extent. But you've got to then factor in the injuries he's had and stuff, and coming back into a team that's not playing well. So it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think what people say, some people just still obviously say that he's a top talent, and I saw discussions on Twitter about what is actually a top talent, if you like, because I would say, when people say top talent, yes, maybe when he came through into the, in the first team at the age of 18, coming through the ranks of playing on the Gerrard in the under 20s or whatever it was. But, coming up to the first team as an 18-year-old to actually be someone that they look at and think, yeah, he has something, and that would be a top talent for me. Now he's turning 22, like you said. I wouldn't say he's a top talent anymore. He's more an established talented player, but now he needs to take the steps forward. And I understand the romantic side of it and our side of it as a Liverpool supporters. We want a local lad to succeed for us, so we probably have a little bit more feelings, both the positive ones and the negative ones, because we really want him to succeed. So when he doesn't do that, people are on him more, and when he do well, some people might actually put him up too high as well. So I think, in my opinion, I think he's a good player who has a Liverpool future if he takes steps forwards from now on. Because, like you said, he needs to, and the comment says as well, he needs to, play the ball a bit faster, not keep hold of it, and he probably need to play more further up the field as well, because he's better with more freedom and when he can use creativity, and it's not a I wouldn't say threat, but when he's more in a defensive role, when he has more responsibilities for not losing the ball or covering up space, that's something that he needs to work on. But I think if he can just take a step forwards from here on and keep on developing, he could turn out to be a really good player. Might not be for us in the future if he doesn't really explode, because some people are actually, or players are actually, they might develop a lot when they're turning like 23, 24 or whatever. But I hope he will. But, he needs to just work on it, I guess, and, perform when he gives the chance. And at the same time, our supporters need to understand he's just coming back from more of a long-term, not a long-term injury. It was something like infection or whatever it was in his, I don't know what you say in English, but something with his
stress fracture of the leg, and he had the eye injury as well, which was a mad one as well.
Yeah, so we need to be patient as well. We just can't just say that he's not good enough, whatever. Just rate him after a few games. We need to give him a little bit of time. So that's Jones for me. He's got it, but he needs to work on it, and hopefully he will develop from here on.
Yeah, and Dan says Jones has been trained extensively to retain possession. Don't think he has his head down too much, but isn't always showing the best option, so he'll delay and keep the ball. I think that's it. I think there's times where if he wasn't injured and he'd been playing quite a bit, and it's a confidence thing as well, I think, because he doesn't want to lose the ball. Because sometimes he tries stuff and it doesn't come off, and then people are going, "Oh, bloody hell, what are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. And people are getting on his back. So then he's trying not to do that, but then I think his natural game is to do that. I think some players are just like that. Like, I just think of like Luis Garcia was a genius. I'm not saying Curtis Jones is anywhere near the same player as Luis Garcia, I don't think he's that similar. Really, I think Jones is more of a winger. But like Luis Garcia would do something amazing, like score a volley against Juventus. But like in like games, he'd like try passes that were could be on, but it's like a 10% chance that's making it through to the forward, and it's like and then it breaks down, and then we have to try and get the ball back. So it's little things like that where, I think he needs to take more risks. But I think when he does it, when we're in a better vein of form and he's doing it, it'll just naturally come off more. I think it's just little things like that as well.
Exactly. It's a self-confidence thing. And I think, in my opinion, now when he's back from injury and actually gets some game time, I would say to start with, keep it simple. Just, receive the ball, give the ball, move, and just don't overdo things. But that would come when his self-confidence is better and we are in a better place, as a collective team as well. So just when you're back and you just want to be sure, I need to just play and see, and go from here. Just keep it simple. That's my opinion. Don't overdo it, because that will probably put you more in trouble, and people will be on your back straight away if you don't succeed with it. So keep it simple, and the self-confidence and the way he's playing with creativity will come, I guess. So
yeah, definitely. Dan also says Wijnaldum was always criticised for keeping possession and slowing play down. People now say we miss him. Yeah, and I think it's Sam Maguire on Twitter. I haven't got the screenshot, to be fair, because I didn't know we were going to be talking about this in that much detail, so I didn't get it. But like it, I don't even know what they're called. Those little graphs like that show like what type of a player someone is. Like if they do they keep possession, are they good at dribbling, and like Jones is quite similar to Wijnaldum in that regard of keeping the ball and shielding it. But I think, like we said, he's 21, so he needs to grow that. He needs to grow and get a bit bigger, and he'll be better at shielding the ball and stuff. But yeah, Kuda's in afternoon Reds 1 p.m. here in South Africa. Nice one, Kuda, for jumping in. Pan of Scouse is in as well. Nice one for jumping in. But we haven't even talked about the goals or anything yet, so let's get into that. Firstly, let's talk about the offside. Well, yeah, the offside goal for them. Ostergaard, 53 minutes just after the first half. The first half, I don't think much happened really. I think we had a shot each on target. I think I texted you at half time going, "Oh, could be another ball fest," and you were like, "I might have to miss the second half. So that might be good." And then the second half turned out to be better anyway. So yeah, but I think I enjoyed that being offside more because how much he celebrated. I think because he was like proper going, yes, which of course he scored. I think he got his debut goal the week before and he scored again. Well, he thought he'd scored again and he was made up. And I just thought, yeah, unlucky.
Yeah, but it's also nice just to get to get the offside there as well, because it would have been another one that we were 1-0 down again, chasing, even if, in this stage we were already through and all that. But it's just more of a, to not have that pattern, to actually get rid of that pattern and just make sure that we're not in a position where we have to chase all the time, because that's what we've been doing loads this season. And, especially at home, we can't keep on doing that. So just to get rid of that and actually not have to do it was really good. So, yeah, it happens, but yeah, from there on, I think, like you said, first half, not much, well, it was okay, but I think in periods of the second half, there was much better play from us. In some periods, we really had some great like one-touch football where we just passed and moved in between, and got out from that kind of passing as well. So, yeah, the second half was much better, obviously, with the goals as well.
Yeah, and it kind of sparked into life when Darwin Nunez came on for Jones on the 73rd minute. Then we go and get the first goal on the 85th minute. Mo Salah gets another goal. I think he's got 7 now in the Champions League. I think now level with Mbappe, both on 7 goals in the Champions League, which for someone who's been out of form, and he has been, to be fair, for quite a bit this season, but he's had some good spells as well. He scored a lot of goals, and I've just got another screenshot there. You can see he's now level with Steven Gerrard for European goals. That's amazing, isn't it? Like, I think he posted that on his Salah posted that on his Instagram to Gerrard, and Gerrard like shared it on his story as well, which is nice. Just two amazing players just appreciating each other for being good at footy.
Yeah, it is brilliant stats when you look at it. He hasn't played. I think Jay mentioned it in a show about the minutes played to get to 41 goals, and Gerrard was like double Salah or something like that in the Champions League or European goals. Sorry, but it's just amazing how he actually have reached that far, 41 goals. And he will, he got loads of time this season, hopefully now when we're through and we're playing more and, to score more goals. So, he will probably become, he will become the player that will be really, really hard for anyone to actually reach if he continues to score the goals. And obviously if he stays with Liverpool, the whole contract length. So, Yeah, it's just brilliant. And obviously Gerrard with all the goals he scored from different positions, but also a few penalties and stuff as well. Obviously, I guess there was in there, but he scored screamers in a different way, and they will always be legendary in my mind. So that's two great players.
So many Gerrard.
I know.
When you look at Gerrard screamers, just like fucking hell.
I'm just sad we probably never see. We'll never see a player. Well, in my opinion, we'll never see another player like Steven Gerrard again with all the attributes. I just get I'm almost get sad when thinking of the feelings you had when you were so much younger watching football and you saw Steven Gerrard play. It was unbelievable. What a midfielder.
Yeah, especially coming into a side like just that was good initially when he came in. And then just kind of turned into like the beast that he was amazing.
Yeah.
Dan says, loved how boring it was. Thought we controlled the game really well. Expected and hoped they were offside. Wouldn't deserve the lead. Yeah. The first half, I think, it was one of those. We need to just kind of nullify them because they were, I thought they were wanted to come out and just kind of blow us away in the same way they did at their place. But we kind of had the right setup with Konate back in. Like I said before, people being like switched on, like just putting foots into like Fabinho putting a foot in and not just letting people go past them.
Yeah, and Thiago, I thought he was great as well. With both the work he did like defensively, but also the way he just directs the game with his passes, long range one and then short passes. He's just a midfield maestro. I think, if Fabinho can hit the form, hopefully, and with Thiago and whoever plays next to them, if he stays with a 4-3-3, like if it's Henderson or whatever, but with Thiago and Fabinho obviously being better, then he's hopefully he can just stay fit, because when he plays, we play so much better. So he was great as well, and hopefully this is a step forward for Fabinho as well. Just to get into the level, just to continue on that road, that would be great.
Yeah, very small steps. Just, I mean, he could have been sent off. He was just flying into tackles. But same with Konate. I think it was just something Klopp had told him, like if they get past you, just make sure you know that you're there. Which is sometimes we've been guilty of not making tactical fouls enough. Which
and actually put in the job, like we talked about intensity and energy the whole season since we started, to talk, and since the season started and we saw us play, all the games. I think even if they get past you, just don't give up. Just show them, like give it a go, give them a fight, and make sure you're actually trying to annoy them as much as you can. That can disturb them that much, so they won't get a pass or a cross into the box, so they won't be able to find another player. Just make sure you are there to just try to get them off the ball. That can sometimes just be enough. Even if they go past you, just make sure you're there. That's the thing. You don't. That's what you expect.
Yeah, I think it's like we've been so good in the past at just being like energetic and like in the right positions initially, so we've not really had to do them as much. But
yeah,
I think in a way we
were so great closing teams down. Like they didn't have a chance. We just won the ball, but there was two players on them straight away. Players just gave up. Kind of, here you go. Take the ball.
Yeah,
that's how we felt. Like if we lost the ball, we just had two players straight away on whoever had the ball, and they just fuck it. I don't have any space. There's no one else to pass to. That was a great feeling, because teams had nothing for a period of time.
Yeah, it was a good time, but hopefully we can get back to that level, because I mean we've played a lot of formations this year, but we went back to 4-3-3 again against Napoli, and it worked. So so Salah scores, and then I mean I think Nunez gets the I don't know if officially gets the assist for that one, but I mean I hope he does, because he headed it down and then the keeper stopped it, and then Salah just knocks it in. But then he gets the basically the last kick of the game, like the 8th minute of stoppage time. Darwin Nunez gets his goal, and I just thought it was hilarious because Van Dijk heads it down, doesn't he? And I don't know if it's going in. I'd like to watch it back again, but I've got a picture of this because I just think it's hilarious. Like Van Dijk just turns away and does that, which I think I just thought straight away, like the Origi goal against Everton, where he just kind of balloons it in the air, and Van Dijk turns around and runs away, like, oh, there we go, game's over, like it's gone out for a goal kick. That I just thought it was similar to that, and then Nunez just like I don't even know how far off the line it was, like 3 centimeters, just smacks it in. But I just thought that was hilarious.
But but that's a goal scorer for you as well. He won't just leave it, even if it was going in. That's a striker for you. They obviously, gonna just make sure the balls goes into the net, and obviously with the selfishness as well. Being a striker, you want the goals on your, on your whatever CV or whatever when the season is over. How many goals you contributed with? So and I just like to rather make sure it's in than just leave it and
Exactly.
think So. That's good, and the stats for Núñez as well. Even though if it's just getting a goal from the goal line and just make sure it goes in, it will say that his stats obviously it's much better. So and the striker should be in a position where he can score them types of goals as well. So I'm just happy that he was there and he actually had that impact on the game, coming on quite late as well. So that's really, really good. And I posted something on Twitter as well with just saying I love this lad. I just love him for the type he is. I think maybe a lot of you have seen the clip with Carragher and Thierry Henry actually talking about him. When Carragher goes on about how raw he is, but there's something special about just watching him play, the way he has his pace and physicality, and how he just goes into spaces like we were talking about. So it's just something that I like. I just like to watch him on a football pitch. It's like entertaining, and there's something's going to happen. Some players you might used to watch, and what you're going to get. It might not be very special to watch Jordan Henderson play football, all the time. Even though he's in the team to do his job, what Klopp tells him to do. With Núñez, it's a little bit more like you never know, but that something will happen, and that kind of makes it exciting as well. So I just love him. He's been here for like 10 minutes and he scored goals, but I can't wait to see what he actually develops into. That's the thing as well. Like he's not the finished product, and he will just only get better, I think. And I just love the way he's a little bit of a, he goes and pushes people around, and you makes a little bit of a fuss as well. And people say, oh, he might get some more red cards and all that. But you need that kind of shithouser as well to just make sure that people know that you're there, like the awareness. So I just love him. He's a brilliant player.
The left hook he gave one of their players in the box was just, I mean, he fell over, and they've obviously checked that, but I just think, and he nearly, if the assist for the Salah goal was his assist, he nearly gets another one where Alisson plays a long ball, him and Salah do a little 1-2, and he nearly gets Salah nearly gets a tap in if it wasn't for their centre back, I think. But just talking about Núñez's stats, I always use Mike Reed on Twitter. If you're not following him, then go and do it, because he posts all kinds of boss stats. But he's put 7 goals in his first 15 appearances, 8 starts for Darwin Nunez. Only 5 players have scored more than that in their first 15 games for Liverpool in the Premier League era. So Fowler got 12 in 15.
Yeah, he's
amazing. I think he got 5 in one game now, so that kind of skews it a little bit. But he's still 12 and 15.
And he was only like 18 at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was just, if it wasn't for injuries, man. I mean, we talked about this before. He would be way higher on the Premier League scorer list. And you've got Sturridge second with 11, which is crazy goal scoring ability. And then you've got Salah and Jota on 9. And then you've got Fernando Torres on 8. And then obviously you've got Darwin Núñez on 7. So that, like, those 5 there, they're the only people that have scored more goals than them in the first 15. That's pretty amazing. And all of those are, like, you'd say, really, really good strikers for Liverpool in the top 20 Liverpool strikers that we've had in the Premier League era, or top 10 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe apart from, I mean, definitely Fowler, Torres, Sturridge, and Salah. I mean, Jota's not been here as long, so it's harder to judge him. But the top 4 they're like top 10 Premier League strikers. So
yeah, I agree. And just to see that stats, Darwin Núñez, and I still don't get that. So hopefully there's people who are turned around now and just understand that he's not. He's not bad. He's a good player, and I would say he's the right buy as well. Just even if he was expensive, he's the right age. He's got something really special. He can play in different positions as well if we need to. He can play on the left wing if we need to, because he got the pace. But he's a player who he always comes up where there's possibility to score goals, and he does score goals. That's what you want from a striker. What more can you ask from him? He's just a very, very exciting player. So if some people still arguing about him being really bad and not the player we should have bought and all that, just stop watching then, because I think he's brilliant. But like you said, he came on in the what did you say, like
73rd minute, I think.
Yeah, 73rd minute.
He had like 20 minutes, I think, on the pitch.
Exactly, and he got like one assist, maybe then one goal, and could have had another assist, and just was a nightmare for them. That's just that's all. Now we got the options to play him from the start if we want to, or we can actually have him from the bench having an impact on games like this. So brilliant, just continue. That's all.
Exactly. Doug says Darwin Nunez is a mad bastard. We absolutely love him. Yet people want to have their agendas by calling him a flop.
Yeah,
I think it's
back off.
Yeah, well, yeah, that and
I can't take it anymore.
Compared to Haaland, isn't he? Like he's just gonna just Liverpool changing formation, having a big 9. So did City. Haaland scored like how many? I don't even know how many Premier League goals, like 15 or 16 or something.
Yeah,
already, and it's just always going to happen. Like those two are going to be compared forever, unfortunately. But if Darwin Núñez scores loads more goals, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but this, exactly. There's no point to comparing them, because when Haaland came in and he already proven himself in Germany in a big league, and he scored loads of goals since he was young as well. We knew that he was a great prospect, and he already established him in Dortmund, scoring loads of goals. We knew if he would come to Liverpool, I would say okay, we got like a already complete striker here. So whoever actually takes him will have goals. We already knew that. Even if it was Man City, Real Madrid, or whatever, he would score goals wherever he goes, because he already proven that he's got that abilities. He's a brilliant player. Obviously, he's in Man City. We don't like that. That's just the way it is, because we can't give the salary as they do and all the bonuses or whatever they give him for scoring goals and stuff like that. But to find Darwin Nunez, from Benfica, even if he was expensive because he scored loads of goals in the Portuguese league as well when he was there, he's a different kind of player. He can play more in different positions than Haaland, and he's one who can actually score quite many goals as well. Maybe not as many as Haaland in the long term, but not far from, I would say, in the Premier League. If he continues like this and just get the chance to develop with Klopp, and when he's in a team that is in the best form, when we see Liverpool back at their best, hopefully we do that this season anyway, then it will, he will score even more. He scores now when we haven't been good, which is a great thing, but he will score even more. So when he actually starts to maybe score twice a game or whatever, because he can actually do that. If we look at the stats, he can actually do that, and he continues to do that for a long period of time. There will be no one who will say nothing bad, they will say anything bad about him. So I don't know where people will say he's a flop or whatever, because if you see the stats now in the start of his Liverpool career and you still just think that he's a flop, what do you expect? When we bought Peter Crouch, he didn't score for 20 games or whatever it was. That's not that much. But then he started to score and he couldn't stop for a while. And I love Peter Crouch for because he had a great cool style of play and the human being is. But you will still look back and think, I like when Peter Crouch was in Liverpool, because he just had this ability to score really great goals as well, the overhead kicks and different headers and all that kind of stuff. But you look at Darwin Núñez and people say he's a flop after he's been in a few games, just his first season. I don't know what's going on with fan bases anymore, not only Liverpool's, it's actually others as well. But I just don't understand why we should be on our own players all the time and just give them shit for nothing. It's another thing if he would go like Diouf did. He had the number 9 shirt and he didn't score for a whole season. That's something really, really bad, for being that hyped player. And he was an obit as well. But it's just come on, if just stop it and be supportive and actually look at the positives. There's loads of things to actually be positive about, even if we haven't been that good this season. Just look on the bright side of life.
I don't think Twitter's capable of that, unfortunately. It's always always the shit stuff in it that they like to focus
I just
on.
feel now I get upset. That's the thing. I'm just rambling on.
Well, no, it's annoying because it's like easy pickings, isn't it? Because they're like, oh yeah, he hasn't got a good touch and whatever, and he's done this wrong and done that wrong. It's like, just whatever. He's scoring goals, and if we don't care as Liverpool fans, then no one else should give a shit as well. But Dan says Haaland gets 20k bonus whenever he blinks.
Yeah, but I actually wonder what kind of bonuses he has in his contract, because obviously there was this report saying he was making like, what was it, like £900,000 a week with all the bonuses included. I guess that must be contribution of goals, hat tricks, because he must have so many different bonuses in there. If he score hat tricks, to get this amount, and he did score quite many. If he scores a goal every each game, or even two, which is done as well, there must be so many bonuses triggered because he's scoring so many goals.
Yeah, and then just another question there for you. There's no drilling today, so we're all good. No drilling.
Yeah. All the glory holes are done.
Oh, mate.
You never know, though. I heard it the other day, so you never know. Yeah.
So yeah, 1-2-0, boss result. Then I also saw something that it was Klopp's 400th game as Liverpool manager. So I've obviously got that as well, just because I think that's just like an amazing thing. Like 400 games in charge of Liverpool, 244 wins, 90 draws, 66 losses, 61% win ratio, the best ever of any Liverpool manager. Yeah, just amazing. I mean, I know that win percentage would be way higher if it weren't for this season, because I think it was about 62 or 63, might have been more actually before this season, but obviously with the draws and the losses this season been a bit mad, that's gone down a little bit. But it's like the it's just not. It's, I mean, people say I was gonna say people say Klopp out, but it's just not even real fans, is it? Like, it's just like, why would you want? Like, I went on to I don't know if I told you, I went on to like a Twitter space after the Leeds game, and like people were saying like, get Klopp out, get Vincent Kompany in. I was just like, I just want to like leave the earth. If that's what someone actually believes, I just don't think they're Liverpool fans. And if they are, then I just feel like I just think it's mad. Like, he's been here, like, been amazing, going through a shit patch, and all of a sudden you want to get rid of him. Like, I don't know.
The thing is with Klopp, I obviously understand that it won't happen, and he won't leave himself. I don't think he's not that type of person, that just leaves something that is going bad. He wants to, get it going again and come up to the same levels as before. But if it was to actually, say to get Klopp going out of the club or stay in, and people actually said, yeah, Klopp out, since he came in 2015, he's just done this, team and club better in all ways. It's not only on the football pitch, it's actually how we fans have felt as well. The way that he, together with the owners, has made Anfield bigger and better, how they made everything outside the stadium better as well. The positive things that he brought in as a person as well. He just received the
Freedom of Liverpool, yeah.
Exactly. Yesterday, it says something as well about the person. He understands the city, the people, everything like that. So he's, I'm not from Liverpool, so I'm not a Scouser, but I'm very much into understanding people from Liverpool as well. Obviously, I lived in England, all that, and been to Liverpool so many times. But I just, I respect the people. I think of, how people are, how similarities, but he understands the people, working class, great sense of humor, togetherness and all that. So he's the perfect fit as a manager for a club that, that stands for all them things. But he also one of the greatest football managers on this planet, and he's proven it since he came in. He just built this club up, and won everything that is possible to win in club football. Even if we could have won one more Champions League trophy, even if we could have won another Premier League trophy, we missed out with 1 point and all that. But just, it's not only up to us. We could talk about the VAR when, it was a handball in the City game against Everton and all that. It's all these kind of little things that sometimes actually turns out what the result is. And sometimes it's not with you, but you still, even if we could have had a few more trophies, you can't take away what he's done in only, 7 years?
Yeah.
In only 7 years, he won everything that you can in club football. It took like Ferguson, I don't know how long, but and then go to win everything in a short period of time. And now when you have this bad period where things aren't go the way we are, used to, you can't shout for Klopp out as soon as things goes bad. You can't shout on different, players that they are shit and just should get, out of the club. Yes, they get older. They might not be as good as they were a few years ago when we were like the best team in the world. But it's just, think of it in a perspective, have some sense, and just sit down and just like, what, if you Klopp out doing all that shit, like you said, one, you're probably not a supporter, or two, you just want to have attention, or three, you're fucking stupid. That's my goal on it. If you have a manager who already won everything, and you have a period of bad time, stand behind him and support him, and he will have earned his time to make everything good again. So I'm just over all the people that are not clever enough to understand in a bigger perspective how football actually works. I'm not an expert, but if I just sit down and think a little bit more deeper, if I went on a fucking Twitter space and you said, I think Klopp should go out, you're an attention seeker, or you're actually stupid. That's the thing,
Yeah, I just think it's people wanting attention. I just think, I mean, it could be both of those things, to be fair, but I just feel like it's people on Twitter just like posing as Liverpool fans, and I genuinely believe that. Like, some of them are just like, well, I'm going to do this because it makes
retweets and likes and all. But I don't understand why you want to look like an idiot. That's the thing. Like,
you don't care.
Some people might agree, but the majority will be, fair people who understand things and actually look at it in a bigger perspective. So I would never go on Twitter and say, "Oh, I think Klopp should go now because this is because loads of people would say, Kristian's a fucking idiot because he, if it turns out the Klopp was going through this kind of period for like a whole season or even into another season, and things weren't getting better, and I understand that he might just step down himself then, because I don't think the owners would just get rid of him, but that would be another question. But now we just, we had one bad start and a longer period of time now with bad results once since he came in, I would say. The season with the COVID and stuff, that was for everyone, that was tough, and it was some injuries and stuff, but we still made it, when we went into Champions League and all that. To actually just turn against him after, we're in November now, and we threw in the Champions League and we're not doing well in the Premier League, but just to turn and say Klopp out after what he's delivered, it's just, I don't know, it's just very, very weird. It's
mad.
Just stupid. Yes, it's really mad.
Dan says, no real supporters that understand even 5% of what the club is about and where we've come from would he ever want rid of Klopp. I hope he at least sees out his contract maybe this decade. Yeah. It's just people just like, it's younger fans, but it's the older fans that I'm like, wait there, why? I don't get it. Like, if you're like 20 or whatever and you don't know anything different, or you're a new fan of football and you've just started supporting Liverpool, and all of a sudden Liverpool are bad, you're like, oh my god, this isn't good. But
another take on that before we wrap up. It's just, I'm thinking, this is a question for you, Mick, because you're obviously from Liverpool. As a support from overseas, like I am from Sweden, obviously, like I said, I lived in England for a few years and I went to all the games and, got friends in Liverpool and all over the place, that are obviously Liverpool supporters. But sometimes I just feel like if I'm a supporter from another country, and I want to know and read into the history of the club, which I have done since I was a kid. I'm interested to learn about Paisley, Bill Shankly, and players from the past and all the glory days, and I want to know about the city, the people, what made Liverpool into the city it is. With all the music and culture and the docks and all that kind of stuff. And that's just me because I'm a geek, so I like to just find out stuff. But then I come across supporters, that say, like, for example, someone said, Klopp must go on my Twitter feed, who's a Swedish supporter. And I was like, why would you say Klopp out? Because, he's just in a bad period now. Yeah, but he's in this the same kind of a period now that he went through in Mainz and Dortmund 7 years on. He was, it was all over. But I said, who else do you want as a manager? Because he's actually someone who's actually perfectly fit he fits perfectly as a manager for Liverpool, in the way the club is run and the beliefs and how the people act in Liverpool. But he said, I don't really care about that. I just want someone who can, turn this around. And I'll be like, but it's so much more than just football. It's Liverpool. It's actually something else.
People just they're just like, yeah, Klopp out. He's not doing well. Want him out. They're not thinking who's going to come in. Like the owners, they want FSG out. Like, and I don't even want to talk about this much anymore because we're talking about people that like we don't care about and we don't agree with what they're saying. So we're like giving them airtime, and I'm just like, it's not. They're not. I don't think they're real fans. I just think it's like they're just doing it for attention. And it's just like it's easy just to go on Twitter and go, yeah, Klopp out, and people are like quote tweet it, going, oh, look at this idiot, and it's like, well, in a way, you're giving them what they want as well, which is just like I'm not a fan of that really. I just like I've said to you, like if someone's just like being like that, I either mute them or I block them on Twitter. I just feel like I can't have a conversation with someone where your beliefs aren't ever going to change. Like I can't say whatever I say to you, you're not going to go, actually, yeah, that's a good point. Like, well done. Like, now I agree.
Yeah.
They're never going to waver from what they believe because either they don't believe it fully or they don't know what's going on. Like Dan said, they only know a percentage of what's going on. So they just think, well, if you get rid of Klopp and the owners and get someone new in, be sound because it's just easy. They don't know like what's happened, how hard football is to get the right manager in who understands everything, owners in that like to remain sustainable and whatever else, and like let's not get into it because we're getting on for 46 minutes.
Yeah, no, but in my opinion, like that lad who wrote that, I said, I don't care, and to me, that's not a real Liverpool supporter though, because if you're a real Liverpool supporter, you actually read into what the club stands for, the beliefs of the club and the city and the people. You're just not like and that's like the dog says in the comments that it's obviously FIFA fans or whatever. But if you're interested as a supporter, you know, read into the history of the club and understand it. Because if you said I don't really care about that, then you're not a real supporter, in my opinion. That's just me. But you know, I just get really annoyed when people are just, you know, it's just white or black. You know what I mean? Like they don't see the bigger picture of it. And I'm just thinking, there's no one else that I want as a manager than Jurgen Klopp. Fucking sign him for life. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Dan says gravy tits in. Yeah, let's get Allardyce down and get him in. Get Allardyce in. Get Sammy Lee as assistant. We'll have I don't know, whoever you want. Just get some fellow who owns a chippy down the road to buy Liverpool, and we'll be sound. Just whatever. Then we'll be just really. That's the thing. These people thrive off misery, and I think that's what it comes down to. That's misery. They just they can't ever be happy, and understandably, we're not as much this year because we've not been as good. Champions League aside, like Premier League, we've not been good. But like in terms of Liverpool, like what we've done the last 7 years on the Klopp has been like an amazing ride. So I wouldn't change it for anything. But Doug asked the question before about who do you think we are getting in a draw on Monday? Benfica, Porto, Bayern Munich, or Real Madrid? If we get Porto, they will need to get a restraining order against Liverpool. And I actually had I'll put the screenshot up because I had it ready anyway. So you can see there the four. Who do you want, Kristian? Before we get out of here and leave everyone to get on with the rest of the day.
My logical sense would say obviously Porto or Benfica, but I'd rather go Porto then. But you know, my heart says just get Real Madrid and just, you know, payday. You know, just, you know, get him out, beat him. and that's obviously further down the road, so we might be in another position in form or whatever then, so you know that would be good. But if we get Porto, I wouldn't complain, but if we had Real Madrid, I would be like, yeah, come on, get him.
Yeah, I mean the difficulty is like we'd love Porto or Benfica. If we get Bayern, obviously Sadio Mane comes back to the Anfield, which would be nice. But then I think we've played Real Madrid in finals, and I think it's difficult to beat them in a one-off game because I think they've got a good manager. They not like I know they said Allardyce there, Dan. I know they called Real Madrid's manager Allardyce because you've got Allardyce in the brain. Ancelotti, like he said, didn't he, after the Champions League final, like we knew how Liverpool were going to play, blah blah blah. So I think on a one-off game, like they can beat us, but I think in a two-legged game, I think like them getting them to Anfield, I think we could. I reckon we could beat them, and I think like that's just like systematic of Liverpool's season so far. We just don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up, but if we play against the big side, we've got a good chance.
Yeah, that's what I said to a few mates as well. And we just discussed this in a WhatsApp group. And I just said, get Real Madrid, because I said at the moment, obviously that's, like I said, further down the road when we play these games. But, we seem to be good against the big teams now. So just go with that then. But, Benfica has been really good. So, I feel I'd rather have Porto if I had to choose between the Portuguese teams, because Benfica has been really, really good. And they got a few really great players, to be honest. So, yeah, well, if we can go Porto, obviously, because I would say it's the more simple road. But if I can just choose now, by my heart, then I would say Real Madrid. And like you said, play them over 2 games. I think we can actually beat them.
It wouldn't be good for the blood pressure or the heart rate, like playing Real Madrid. Like, just it'd be very nervy. But yeah,
every game is now though. So,
well, yeah, that's true. But I just think it'd be like Anfield against Madrid, and it's like, oh my god, like it'd be exciting but proper nerve wracking. But yeah, like Paul says there, Porto or Benfica would be amazing. JJ's a nice one. Hi everyone, the past 7 years have been amazing. Speaking from a surviving fan throughout the 90s, yeah. I mean, we've just done like 10 minutes on like the clap out knobheads and whatever. They're not getting any more airtime, Kristian. We're not talking about them.
Sorry, I just need it out of my system.
We might do it in the future if Liverpool just like lose a game, whatever, and we saw something on Twitter. But I just don't want to talk about them because it just fucking drive me insane. JJ says they want Madrid, get it out the way.
Yes.
Doug says last time we finished second in the group, we won the UCL. Love that.
Yeah.
Pan of Scout says 50-50 chance of a good team or a very good team. Over 2 legs, we can beat anyone. They'll bring it on. Yeah. Dan says, reckon Benfica. I actually kind of want Madrid. Says playing the pricks in the final. Bayern would be okay. Got a good record against German teams and beat them a few times en route to winning it.
Munich is a nice place also to go. So yeah.
I've not been. I need to go. It's on the list.
I went when we won against them last time, so it was a brilliant game, obviously. But it's a great city. I've been twice. It's a nice place to go if you just want to go for fun and not football. That's a brilliant. Go in the summer. It's really warm and it's beautiful. So yeah,
lovely stuff. Like you said, well, I said the blood pressure wouldn't be good, but Liz says all matches raise my blood pressure now. Yeah, it's just mad the way this season's going. Like beating City, beating West Ham, losing to Forest, losing to Leeds, then you beat Napoli after they've won 13 in a row. It's just crazy. But yeah, I mean, we were going to do some Spurs chat, but we'll try and do that tomorrow. Actually, we'll just leave this as a Napoli chat and other Salah and Nunez chat rather than Spurs, because otherwise we'll be here for like another 40 minutes, which yeah. People will probably stay on because they're all legends in the chat. But Paul says the 90s, they were horrible. Yeah, they were. And then JJ says, we are the team to fear in this Champions League. I'm never as nervous for Champions League games, stranger now. Yeah, I am the same as well, to be fair, because we know that it's a different style of footy in it. We know that we've more often than not we can do the business in especially over 2 legs, like getting teams back downfield. But yeah, nice one everyone. That's been Napoli review. A good result for the Reds. Hopefully we get a good draw. I think the draw's next Monday on the 7th, I think, at 11, something like that. I know it's next Monday, I just don't know what time. But we'll probably hopefully do a show on the back of that, or we might do one. We might try and do like a live one if we can, like a live reaction to the draw. But then the thing is with them draws, like they do like it's like on for 3 hours and like the draw's 10 minutes and it's like 2 hours and 50. Like, let's watch Luis Figo score a goal in 92. Not 92, 97.
Yeah, but still, it's horrible to just be, it's a Champions League draw now, come on. And then you have to just sit there and wait for an hour before something happens.
Yeah, it's just fucking drives me insane. But yeah, nice.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Pan of Scout says, big up, guys. Great stream. Nice one.
Cheers.
Yeah, nice one, everyone in the chat. If you're watching live, do like and subscribe. If we're on Facebook and YouTube at the minute, we might start doing streams on Twitter as well. See how they go. But yeah, if you're watching live, like and subscribe. If you're watching later today or whatever, do the same, please. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple or whatever, do leave us a rating on there and a review if you've got time, because that really does help us in the getting up the charts in the audio platforms. So that'll be good. But yeah, nice one, everyone, and nice one to Kristian. And yeah, we'll hopefully see you all tomorrow for a Spurs preview. That should be fun. But yeah, nice one, everyone.